And on that note, in most football situations, there's a first 15. It is a scripted first 15 plays that offensive coordinators have to kind of see how the defense will react to their different formations and styles. It's very important to an entire game. So whenever you see a team go on the field and go 3 and out, that really just kicks them right in the balls because the rest of the game was going to be dependent upon how those first 15 plays were going. Those first 15 plays, well thought out. Well thought out.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of conversation.
Yep.
A lot of decisions are made. And for us, we want to have the same thing because this is a ball show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Overreaction Monday. First 15. Yeah. Now, this is driven by Ram, and if you hit the gas pedal of a Ram truck, the only thing you're going to hear is and the only thing you're going to feel like is king because Ram trucks have the power you need and the luxury you deserve. Ram trucks. Okay, now let's get to our first 15. Now, put the clock up, please. What we're going to do differently. See?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Second half.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, we're getting better.
Some time of possession here.
Yeah, first half of the season here, we're kind of bad. We're still in it. We're still playing meaningful football games in November. We're not sellers at the trade deadline by any means, but we certainly weren't just dominating, because we kept saying first 15, it's not about the time, it's about the plays. But then we put a 15-minute clock up there, and everybody's like, hey, it's 42 minutes, so what's the clock for? And we said, you know what, you're right. Instead of counting down, we need to give no barriers to ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to explore everything in this first 15. Why would we be setting up a 3 and out? Why would we be setting up a slowdown of any good conversation, a stoppage of any play that we need? So we're starting at 0. We're counting up. Let's see how long today goes. Let's get this thing started with the top 5 headlines coming out of the NFL slate. Number 5, not all ass teams are ass all the time. Now, what are you saying by that? Well, what I'm saying is some of these teams we've all just deemed ass. We say, oh, that squad there, ass. That team right there, not worth a damn. That team can't beat any team, let alone an NFL team or a good NFL team. And what we need to remember, D-Butch, and I think this does get forgotten about whenever it comes to maybe the larger scale of football fans and NFL fans, these are all professional athletes who are paid to try to play football good and to strategize against other teams, just like the good squads. So whenever we were 2-14, whenever we lost, or 2-14, whenever we got Andrew Luck, there was like 9 games that were 1-score games. That if the ball just so happened to and then pop up into some guy that played one NFL game in his life, and it was this particular game, and he just goes into the end zone, we win that game. So it's like, I think people just start to decide if a team is good and can win, or if a team is bad and can't win any game. And then you kind of just toss away any of the wins that happen throughout the season with the bad teams, and then if they end up beating a team, oh, my God, full panic. It happened down there in Miami with the Buffalo Bills. Now, Josh Allen has struggled in Miami in the past. We all do recall a couple bad games for Josh down in Miami. That would continue. And this Miami Dolphins team, we all call ass. This team's ass. Instead, they still got Waddle. And allegedly, there were some teams, including the Buffalo Bills, that were looking for Waddle. Even a first-rounder in 2027 was offered up from a couple teams for Waddle because of how incredible he is at football. But we all think he's really good. He needs to get the hell out of there because they're a bad team. And here they are on a Sunday, and they're beating the Buffalo Bills. And not just beating them, pounding them. All 3 phases. There was a moment in the fourth quarter. It was 16-0 in the fourth quarter. There was a moment there where Josh Allen scores a touchdown. And it's like, hold the phone. Wait a minute. Has Josh Allen finally got over his Miami flu? Is Josh Allen potentially about to turn this entire thing around? Are the Buffalo Bills about to do to the Miami Dolphins what we all expected to do, just steal their joy and their hope in the fourth quarter? And the Miami Dolphins answered, D-Bud. I mean, it was an ass-kicking. Even when the Bills started, the Dolphins would answer. Everybody says they're ass. Maybe they're not ass all the time, D-Bud.
And you mentioned it, and they hear it. They hear it every day about how ass they are. Not only the players, but the coaches, who's getting fired next, who's getting traded. Obviously, the trade deadline is over now. But the way these boys showed up, starting with HN, absolute game breaker, ran through them. And it's the only place that the Dolphins beat the Bills. You mentioned that earlier as well. And this was kind of a ugly weather game. It didn't show through on the camera much, but this was kind of some rain on and off, some sloppy. I love this. I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about about this, or they're acting like they won the Super Bowl. But hey, winning is an amazing feeling. You mentioned every week in the NFL is talented coaches, is talented players. You know, we got social break dances and shit in the middle of life. And my initial reaction was like, oh, this is too much. This is this. But then I'm like, okay, I'm an old guy. I haven't been in the locker room. You're coaching 20 to 30-year-olds, and you're excited about the win, and you want to be excited about the win. So I love this, what I saw not only on the field from the Dolphins, but off the field, because Mike McDaniel, he's been getting on the shins all year long. So for him to have his boys come out there and compete against a team that everybody picked, I'm sure a bunch of survivor picks.
Oh, yeah.
Lost a bunch of parlays or straight up wins. So unbelievable outing by the Dolphins at home. Very impressed with this outing.
This was Miami's first win versus the Bills since 2022. Achane went off, 174, 6 receptions for 52 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dolphins defense forced 2 fumbles, 1 interception, and ended up with 3 sacks. That's a hell of a day after trading away Jalen Phillips and also sending away all your best talent. Hembo sent over a stat about this Bills rush defense. Week 1, Derrick Henry won for 169. Bijan won for 170, and then Achane goes for 174. If you want to win, if you want to win in the playoffs, they're going to have to figure that out. They are going to have to figure that out. Now, obviously, these types of games are certainly possible for teams, and no fans want them to see them. But only one team in the history of the NFL has gone undefeated. Okay, it's the 1972 Dolphins. Every once in a while, professional athletes are going to show up and put it together. And when that happens, they can beat anybody. That is kind of what the NFL has kind of been built upon. Parity, any given Sunday. On yesterday's particular Sunday, good for you. One half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, Bubba Gumpy. Gumpy, how's it feel to have a Victory Monday here with the boys? Are you riding into laundry rack?
Yeah, this is what the Dolphins look like after Chris Greer's gone. That team still believes in Mike McDaniel. You saw it in that video. Anthony Weaver called the best game he's had all year. Minka had a stop on that 2-point conversion, just stuffed the guy at the line. Best the defense has looked all year. Jake Bailey dropped one at the 1. All 3 phases, just unbelievable from the Fins.
So a GM and a president has hated this bad in the building? Oh my God. Thank God he's gone. That's what it's like down there. It feels like there was a new energy in McDaniel. I mean, the way he's feeling, the way they're responding to him, it feels like there's like a, hey, we're behind you type vibe. Good for the Dolphins. Now, this could all change.
Yeah, true.
This could all just be... take it in, boys.
Yeah, it's a good week.
Take it in, boys.
Or
but this is the NFL.
We'll see.
This is literally the NFL in a nutshell. And also, down in Miami, later in the year. We got snow on the ground out here. Going down into Miami, the humidity, that also plays effect. And also, there is a Miami flu. We've all been down there. There's a lot of distractions. That's why we think it's going to be hard for the Dolphins to win. Other teams have also struggled down there as well.
I mean, like Minka Fitzpatrick bringing it. I don't know if that was his first game as a Miami Dolphin, but I know he's been out for a little bit, him being back. And then, I mean, Ty dropped a bar about Jalen Phillips being out of the building. Like you would assume, trading your best player, Jalen Phillips on defense at least, there might be a little bit of a, fall off, but like not at all. If anything, though, you just said it. That was the best their defenses looked.
Yeah, congrats to the Dolphins, get a big win. And to the Bills, okay, these types of losses open your eyes to what's possible in the bigger games down the road. They're going to have to get that fixed. And then you go to the NFC South. Who's ass down there? Saints. Well, who's not ass this year, maybe? Panthers.
Good football team.
Winning record. Had one.
Saints, Tyler Shuck, 75-year-old rookie out of Louisville. Dog. Absolute beast. I think he had no turnovers or something like that. I forget, he had a bunch of rookie records for how he performed. Kelly Moe might have a guy. And when they drafted him, I think it was like 3rd round or something like that. Whenever they drafted him, they forgot. They acted like this was a starter. And everybody was like, well, if this is your starter, why wouldn't you draft him early? It's like, well, we knew what his value was. We knew how people viewed him. They liked him very, very early. He gets a win over the Carolina Panthers. And a team that's 1-8 somehow beats a team that's 5-4. And 1-8 team we all said was ass and we're dead. They get a huge win over the, kind of new favorites around town. We're not doing the pumps anymore.
Nope.
We're not doing any pumps anymore. Hey, all right, we're out of here. Got a message from Keegan. Canales is talk of the town. Rico Daboll might be the best player in football. All of a sudden, Carolina is up and to the right in a huge way. And the New Orleans Saints, just like their location on the map, nobody was talking about them way down there.
No.
Nobody. Hey, who are the ass teams? Well, the Jets and the Saints. They're real bad. Yeah, they're the ones that we're talking about, like with a college football team. Now, I don't think any of this year's college football teams, well, maybe this Ohio State team. Honestly, we have no idea. I mean, there's a chance they're the greatest of all time. If they go through college football playoff the same exact way that they've been going through this season, there's a chance, and there is a chance. People are going to do that. Ohio State could beat NFL team.
No chance.
Never could, by the way. That is not how it works. That is why people like kind of get confused about how good NFL talent is. But the Saints would have been the team that was in that conversation whenever people started doing that later, if the Ohio State kind of runs it. Them getting a big win is indicative of like, hey, when they show up, any team can be great.
Once again, another coach having his boys ready to go. Tyler Shuck, he was past the job. He earned the job, won the job over. I guess Spencer probably played himself out of it, but he showed up. Chris Olave, another guy who was loud on the trading block, he showed up and had a big game as well. In both of those games, the Dolphins, Bills, and then the Saints, Panthers, divisional games. So you notice whenever records, you got to throw those out the window when you're playing a team and a coach that's very familiar with those opponents.
8 minutes in, still on the first one.
Yep.
Maybe we should have had the clock counting down instead of up. Tyler Shuck is the first Saints rookie quarterback to win a game since Dave Wilson in 1981.
He was good.
Zach Wilson's Poppy.
Yeah.
Pop is Poppy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he was potentially
Archie
fodder's fodder
Sure.
type thing. Arch had a tough time there with the Aints for a while.
They did.
Yeah, they weren't the best football team. Arch the dog, though.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows Arch was a dog. And, the Aints had some times. And then, obviously, Drew Brees, Sean Payton come in. They beat a team in the Super Bowl with that kick onside kick, started second half. They were losing at that time. There was a 22-year-old kid that was on the other team that thought he was getting a Super Bowl and didn't even know how to do his own job and didn't really have to contribute much, but got an A on the paper like he was Tyrese Halliburton at the Olympics. Instead, onside kick, pick six. We ain't ever going back. Hard times, brother. But good for the Saints.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Little baby with a headset on.
Oh, yeah.
I walk into a locker room, contributing nothing. No ability to save game either at any time during that entire thing. Kind of a spectator, if you will, but would have got a ring. Walk in there, devastated. Boy.
Can't imagine.
The most positive people I've ever seen in my life. Ruined in that locker room. And I didn't fully understand what was happening.
We'll be back next year.
We weren't.
Year after.
Year after that.
No, we're almost completely defeated. Then all my friends were cut. GM was fired. And we had Andrew Luck as quarterback. Mm-hmm. And what do?
Back.
We started fighting back.
Made the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
Made the AFC Championship.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Then we did.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Then we did.
What happened in
Then I
there?
retired.
The AFC title again? How was it?
Then,
We got cheated.
yeah, they're balls.
Still an investigation.
That's why Andrew retired.
This is the balls the Patriots are using.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the balls Patriots are using. That's what Bill Nye Science Guy told me.
Yep.
That's what Bill Nye Science Guy told me. But nonetheless, really hard to make Super Bowl. Saints win Super Bowl, finally. Hey, here it is, here it is, here it is. And then kind of all goes to hell.
Yeah.
This year's supposed to be hell. Absolutely. But not all ass teams are ass all the time.
Exactly.
That's number 5, 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's got number 4 headline coming out of the weekend. NFC favorites fornicate. The 4 o'clock slate. Yeah, we all saw it. Let's go to our nation's capital. Detroit Lions pounded Washington. I mean, just pounded the Washington Commanders. At one point during this game in the third quarter, the President of the United States was in the booth, and the Washington Commanders scored, and his first reaction was, that's good for ratings, right? That's good. This is actually kind of a game now as opposed to what it was. The Detroit Lions with Dan Campbell calling plays were exactly what the Detroit Lions last year with Ben Johnson were calling plays. He had glasses on. I guess it wasn't easy to tell from watching the game that he was certainly calling plays while he was actually talking, and Jared Goff was nodding his head like this, and then Johnny Moe up in the booth wasn't saying really anything, but I guess we didn't know for sure if he was calling plays. Turns out he was, and their entire offense is good, and their defense, incredible. Kelvin Shepard, defense coordinator, first year, former teammate of ours, obviously now running the show for Detroit on defensive side. Might be in the running for that LSU job. I don't know if he wants it. Obviously, he just got defense coordinator job in the NFL. That is a huge deal, one step away from an NFL head coaching job. I don't know if I've not directly asked him, but LSU, Kelvin Shepard could be possible. So the Lions could be dealing with another turnover of a coordinator, which was the entire question going in. New offense coordinator, he's Dahn. Dan Campbell's now calling plays. So basically 3 offense coordinators in about 2 years, right?
Yep.
If you go Ben Johnson, new Johnny Moe, and Dan Campbell. Defense coordinator, obviously 2 in 2 years, and they're still dominating, and they're still at the top of the NFC, and they're still ruining a 4 o'clock slate. What did you learn yesterday from the Detroit Lions?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't learn much. I knew they were a dominant team. I felt like the Detroit Lions are a legit contender to win it all this year. Jared Goff just kind of ho-hum, another great game by him, over 300 yards. You got Jahmyr Gibbs going. He had a big day after having a bad outing last week against the Vikings. And then J-Mo made some noise a couple weeks ago. Was some noise around him, should I say, about him not getting the ball, not being used in the offense. And Dan Campbell made it a point to get the ball, probably in his first 15, to get the ball to number 1, and he made good with it. So he got targets. He made his big plays. But, yeah, we know they are offensively and defensively. The Commanders are just so bad. So it's I didn't learn much.
There's a team that's ass.
Yeah. This was the outcome that was supposed to happen, in my opinion.
But not ass all the time, which is why they
exactly.
And Marcus Mariota will do his thing. If they put it together, good team. But if not, they look like they look, and especially against the Detroit Lions, you're ready. Foxy, there's some Hembo stats here about the Lions offense through 9 games, and they make a change at the offense coordinator position. In 2024, Ben Johnson obviously ends up getting hired as a head coach as the bell of the ball because he's an offensive genius. 2.7 points per drive, 46% scoring drive, 33 touchdowns, 10 turnovers. 2025, 2.8 points per drive, which is absurd, by the way. A field goal every time they get the ball, at least, basically. 47% drive for score, and 34 touchdowns, 6 turnovers. You guys are better than ever, and Dan Campbell's put himself in a driver's seat? What
I'll tell
the
you
hell's going on,
I will
Foxy?
tell you what, everyone is fired up about this. They love that MCDC's calling plays. Jared Goff, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 173 total yards, 3 touchdowns. J-Mo, over 100 yards, a touchdown. Laporta had 5 catches. St. Brown had 5 catches. Everyone was getting the rock. Everyone was loving what this offense was doing. And we're rolling now, and we're not looking back anymore. Love you, Johnny Moe, and he had a lot to do with this play calling. But this is MCDC's offense now.
Okay, yeah, MCDC says, we got a lot of guys, man. We got a lot of guys, a lot of mouths to feed. Everybody's coming in my office on Monday saying, hey, Baltimore. You know what? I will.
Awesome. Scored on every single possession in the game, no turnovers. It was literally perfect.
Yeah, I mean, the stats saying you're scoring almost 3 points a drive is insane. You know, because there's games where you have like 3-4 drives you don't score, obviously. So making up for those, it doesn't happen. Detroit Lions seemingly all the way back to who we thought they were offensively. Ty, you got to be scared to death of this Detroit Lions team because if MCDC can just take over either coordinator position, it doesn't matter if they sub out. It doesn't matter if Kelvin Shepard ends up being the head coach at LSU if he wants that, or any NFL job that potentially opens up because of what he's been able to do with this defense so quickly. Because MCDC will have offensive side here, bang, defensive side here if he has to. That's what he's willing to do. That's got to be scary in the NFC North.
I wouldn't say I'm scared to death because the Packers have one in the hand already on the Lions. But again, that was Johnny Moe calling the plays, not MCDC. But I think yesterday just reaffirmed, like there's been a lot of talk about the Bears because they've won several in a row. You know, the Vikings had, discount yesterday. The Vikings with JJ and, BA said, hey, we might get 4 teams from the NFC North in. The Packers are, what they are, but it's very evident that like when the Lions play their A to like B plus game, they are the best team in that division. They're still the team that you need to slay. So it'll be very interesting, but I just look at, you look at the, like Bears are great right now. Obviously Lions hung 50 on them and beat the shit out of them. The Packers game, it is what it is week 1. The Lions are a much different team when they meet again on Thanksgiving, and then the Vikings are whatever. But if the Lions can play like this, you'd be hard pressed to find a team that's better than them in the NFL.
Sonic and Knuckles,
Exactly.
Sonic, and they got Sonic and Knuckles everywhere.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, we got Sonic and Knuckles. Tight end, we got Sonic and Knuckles. Running back, we got Sonic and Knuckles. And offensive play callers, we got Sonic.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, we kind of got literally. And now some Lions fans are saying, well, there's some games you got. Ass and cheeks all over the place.
Yeah.
But Sonic and Knuckles seemingly everywhere around the line. And then there's even a toughness to the team that brings out other people to just punch them in the face.
Exactly.
Did you guys see this? I don't know if everybody saw this. He got suspended for a game for this. Just out of nowhere, no look, kind of a little bit of a sneaker.
What are you saying?
Little sneaky sneaker, boom, right to the button. Now, he has a helmet on. Okay, so obviously you're going to be protected. That's literally what the helmet's on for that. But Amon-Ra St. Brown's hands are down, and he's walking a different direction. I'm not sure he knew a looping right was coming at his helmet.
I had to say something.
But I'll tell you what, the NFL did not like it. The NFL did not like it. Immediately quit. Yep. He's suspended. Can't have that, especially when we got a lot of eyes on this because the president's going to be speaking in the third quarter. They're actually going to have him call play.
Oh, that's probably why he smacked shit out. He probably didn't like to dance.
What?
Maybe.
Yeah, I just thought about it.
Chris Sims had no idea. Somebody needs to tell him maybe what was going on. Hey, at the beginning of that highlight, they were trying to lead you to something there. Maybe it was.
I can't wait till I get next. Yabba! Take next week off.
Great dance, by the way. I remember that was the talk of the town.
I thought it was the opposite of that. I thought Darren Payne was more so saying, like, I ain't going to just sit here and get blown out in front of President Trump. I'm going to punch someone in the face. He'll love that. And then I don't have to play the rest of the game.
So he knows you're saying.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people said a lot of mean things to me because I broke some news out of the White House. I thought it was journalism. What are we talking about, journalism?
They were meaning for breaking news?
Yeah, a lot of people saying I was doing a lot of stuff. I mean, they're going to be crazy. I can't wait to see how they react tomorrow. I can't wait to see how they react. Tomorrow's a big one.
Yep.
It's not for the first 15 because tomorrow is full 24 hours of honor and thanking. But I'll tell you, tomorrow's going to be big.
Hell yeah.
Historic.
Happy birthday, Marines.
Happy birthday, Marines.
Hell yeah.
It wasn't just the Detroit Lions that made the 4 o'clock slate completely fornicated. Oh, no. There was 2 other options. And the NFC West said, we'll go ahead and take care of those for you. The Los Angeles Rams, dominant. Now, it did become a little bit of a game. This one was a 1-score game for a little bit, and then Matthew Stafford goes ahead and hits the gas pedal at the end of this thing to put it away. This Los Angeles Rams team is special. Offensively, they're special. Obviously, Puka Nacua is Puka Nacua. He might be the best wide receiver in football on any given day whenever he's playing football. Insanely tough, very quick, vibes immaculate, and always wants to show up for his team. We love Oos. They add Devontae Adams, so now coverages have to do what they have to do. Down the red zone, they're damn near unstoppable because you can't double Devontae because you got Puka on the other side. So Devontae's one-on-one either with your second or third corner, and on the goal line, that's unstoppable. I mean, it's absolutely, and Matthew Stafford does just that every time. This is their goal line play. It's every single week. Hey, Devontae, whatever the hell you want to do to the guy. If you want to go inside, you do it. You want to go outside, you do it. I'm going to hit you with the ball. They do it anytime they're inside the 3. It's their tush push. They got the Hall of Fame right arm of Matthew Stafford and the Hall of Fame release of Devontae Adams. They put that together, and it's a touchdown-creating machine. It's outrageous what they've been able to build, especially because whenever they started building this team, they went all in and lost all their picks. They lost all their picks. They weren't looking for the future at all is how everybody was judging them. And now here we are in that particular future. They're young on defense, very good. Offense, they have weapons. And Matthew Stafford looks like he's 14, 15, 16 years old again, spinning it all over the yard. Was it because of that tube he went into in training camp? This guy's outrageous. He's better than he's ever been.
Yeah, we're worried about him. Anytime you got an old player or quarterback coming into the season with a back injury, you're very, very worried. But he's playing probably the best football of his career. This is now 3 straight games where he's thrown 4 passing TDs and 0 interceptions, which is insane in the National Football League. You talked about the players on the field. Obviously, everyone has the talent. We talked about it. But then the coaching. Coaching matters. And these are 2 coaches that are very familiar with each other. But Sean McVay has these boys rolling. Tom Brady, I think this was a great call. The freaking no-look. I mean, he's the OG of that. He's been doing that for a long, long time. He makes it look so easy. Go out and try this in your backyard with throwing to 7- and 8-year-olds. This is tough to do, let alone on the NFL field. But, yeah, Sean McVay has done a tremendous job. And Tom Brady made a great point about something they're doing with their offense. They're using a lot of 13 personnels and then getting matchups with these wide receivers against linebackers and safeties because they're facing base coverages as opposed to, like, nickel coverages.
So since week 4, you talked about the 4+ passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Since week 4, he has 20 passing touchdowns to 0 interceptions.
Jesus.
He's hilarious.
Hey, that's insane.
Hey, he got drafted our class.
Yes.
Look what we're doing.
Yep.
Look what we're doing.
Doing it for a while.
How long we been doing this? I got drafted 221 picks apart from Matthew
I
Stafford.
got 40 picks after him.
Damn.
Damn.
What the hell?
Okay.
Hey, dude. That's a good signing bonus.
And
In that economy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we had your teammate Donald Brown went first round.
Yep.
I think he was a 27th pick maybe, and then we had Will Beatty go to the Giants in the second round, and Cody Brown go to the Cardinals in the second round.
Donald Brown was a beast. I love that man. I hope he's good. We would all like to say what's
Absolutely.
up to him. But yeah, Matthew Stafford's only getting better somehow. It makes no sense. And his no-look passes are getting
crazy.
more very like regular now.
Yeah.
Like it's just average stuff. I think a lot more people are doing it, but he has, to everybody's point, been doing this for his entire career, which is why BA, who's called the quarterback whisperer, said that Matthew Stafford was the only quarterback he'd go out and watch warm up because of the shit he can do with it. Well, he's got weapons. He's got McVay calling the plays, and he can still do it. He's special right now. MVP at this age would be wild for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, definitely deserves it. And I believe Brady said on the broadcast that he's never been an all-pro quarterback, so we can lock that in for first team. But Brady also talked about how the no looks started with Calvin Johnson because like everyone knew, okay, it's Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson on the Lions. That's where the ball's going. So he just naturally started working on the no look passes. But aside from that, Debo brought up the 13 personnel. Like now that they can just roll out 3 tight ends, Higbee, Ferguson, who was their second round pick from Oregon, and Parkinson, who scored that touchdown there. Like they can legitimately beat you on offense. And I don't know how you can game plan for it.
Hey, let's talk about another team in the NFC West that can win it all. The Seattle Seahawks team is hilarious.
Yeah, real deal.
They are so good.
Good football team.
And we thought the Cardinals were good. We liked the Cardinals.
Yeah.
The Cardinals might still be good. They had a couple touchdowns they put up there. This was a boat race early. This was a lot of points to no points in Seattle. And Jackson Smith and Jigba gets on the board early. I think he went down for a little bit. Something happened to something.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was late in the thing. I think I saw a photo. Maybe not. Let's just act. If nobody else heard it or saw it, let's not even talk about it. Okay. We have a man on the phone here in about a minute and a half. Will be able to give us some updates on it all. But the Seattle Seahawks, outrageous how good they are.
So good.
Sam Darnold, so good. On the ground, so good. Through the sky, so good. Defensively, tough, hard-nosed, sound, gap control. It's like everything about him smells this thing could win a championship.
That's a good
Another legit contender right here. We always start with the quarterback. Sam Darnold has been playing at a very, very high level. But this game got out of reach early because of the defense. Two fumble returns. I don't think this has happened in I don't know how long, but DeMarcus Lawrence had 2 fumbles, same 2 players on the strip sack and the fumble return, which is crazy. Jacoby Brissett kind of never had a chance. He was under duress all afternoon long.
He'll stay in there.
Whenever you in possessions like that, give the Seahawks extra possession. You got no chance. It's a tough ball club from the top to the bottom.
Jacoby was staying in there, and he certainly had
He will.
to. I think it was like 7 sacks in the first half. There was
Cooper Kupp, 60.
Forget about him.
Him being back is crazy just because Jackson Smith and Jigba's having the season that he's having. Oh, yeah, triple crown, actually quadruple crown winner just from 5-6 years ago. Also on the team and hopefully healthy for the entirety of the year. Congrats to the Seahawks. The NFC's favorites, though, have kind of separated themselves. And tonight, it's Eagles and Packers. So, we're going to learn a lot here, I think, over the next few weeks. But it feels like we're starting to know who's who in both the conferences. The NFC favorites dominated that 4 o'clock time slot. And we all started doing stuff other than watch the games. That was crazy.
Yeah, big time.
It was
That
tough.
was a weird thing. 3 games, all of them bad, not good. That's why March Madness has like 15 games on at the same time.
Exactly.
Hey, a couple of these are going to be ass. We got to find a good one. We need yesterday. Let's go to the number 3 headline. The sports books and Steelers fans knew. Okay, sports books had the Baltimore Ravens at like 2-4, 2-5 as the favorites to win the AFC North when the Pittsburgh Steelers were 4-1 or whatever the hell it was, 4-2, 5-2, whatever the hell they were. Okay, they were way down early. Steelers spent all the money on the roster and were winning, and the sports books did not budge. They're like, Baltimore Ravens are going to win the AFC North. This is how this is going to go for weeks and weeks. And I actually just thought it was so preposterous that I'm like, well, this sounds like it has to be right. So I've literally only picked the Ravens just because it's like the time travelers who do the sports books things are saying this is going to happen. And lo and behold, it seems like it is happening. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens getting very, very good. Okay, very, very good. A couple turnovers from J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, the defense is only going to get better from where they started this entire thing. And Lamar Jackson, after he goes ahead and takes the ping pong tables and the cornhole board and everything out of the locker room, comes back from his hamstring injury, completely locked in. Connor is giving a great face right now because obviously Drake May, J.J. McCarthy conversations are going to happen. J.J. will miss Okay, he will miss by a lot.
A lot.
He will miss by a lot. He's got to get better with his accuracy, which I think is possible. If you go back to like Josh Allen, there's a chance he's able to do that. Has competitive spirit, all that shit. He misses a lot of throws by a lot, but he also makes throws out of nowhere that shouldn't be made. On that note, Baltimore Ravens. We don't need to show
Jefferson slip.
First off, that's not JJ either. That's nine.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
nine.
Okay. You're right. It's his on-field. Maybe we need to see JJ. Maybe JJ is the NFL version.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, maybe 9 isn't in the NFL. Maybe 9 retired with a national championship.
Got a lot of Will Levis in him.
Michigan. But in the leadership sense, he has a lot of Tom Brady in him.
That's right.
Okay, so there's a lot of things you can look at that. I'll look on the other side. Baltimore Ravens are real. And the Baltimore Ravens, the sports books knew they were going to be good. Lamar Jackson feels good. A lot of losses early. They're going to be chasing all season. That's good motivation for that team. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers get a huge win over the Indianapolis Colts. Huge. Makes me as a Colts fan, don't worry, you'll see number 1 of the headlines here. You'll see exactly where I'm at. Makes me as a Colts fan question some things, but we had 6 turnovers. Like, that's not going to be a normal day. But the Pittsburgh Steelers forced those things. You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers made great plays. It's like maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are a team that we need to think about going forward. That's how I felt after the Colts game. Last night, halftime, I said, fuck this. I'm going to bed.
You weren't feeling it.
I'm going to bed. I'm not staying up for this shit. I mean, it was not good last night, but we think the Chargers are a good football team as well.
Yep.
But it feels like Steelers fans have been waiting for this particular game, especially on primetime time.
Yeah, there was about a week ago when I looked at the schedule to see what time this game was. And, oh, shit, it's a primetime game. This is not going to go well. I don't know why things don't go well in primetime for the Steelers as of late, but they don't. Specifically on the offensive side of the ball, anything that could go wrong did go wrong last night. It was Aaron Rodgers' worst game of the season by far. Wasn't even close. Was overthrowing DK. Was underthrowing guys. That was an overthrow for an interception. Boz missed a field goal.
Inside 50.
45.
Yeah.
As soon as Boz missed the field goal, I knew the night was over. The defense played well. I mean, they held the Chargers to 12 points in the fourth quarter.
Good route.
But yeah, after Boz missed in halftime, I said, I know what this team's going to do in the second half, and it's not going to be good. So I turned it off. This team is not going to ruin my night and tomorrow morning.
Okay, so I like that you said that. I like you said that. But on that note, that's what Steelers fans have been saying about the Steelers team, even whenever they've had the winning record, D-Bud.
Yeah, Steelers fan. I give them this. They know ball. Even when they were 11-0 all those years ago, they're like, no, this ain't a Super Bowl winning team.
Steelers fans are very, very truthful.
They're knowledgeable. They know their team. They know how they're going to show up on prime time. But I was surprised with this outcome because the steel curtain showed up now. It is true. It was only because the 05 team was there. Because this. What the hell?
Okay.
Because Jack Carr here.
Oh, no.
He better be.
Zito's on the run. Thank you, Zito.
Okay,
The thing didn't close either.
The fire trap door?
Well, that is actually, I think, that is sports media telling us through. We have breaking news. Brian Daboll has been fired.
What? Wow.
As the New York Giants head coach. In the middle of the first 15 here, our alarms were sirening off because, hey, there's breaking news. Stop talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Chargers. You lost enough of your life watching that game last night.
Yep.
Pivot to some breaking news. The New York Football Giants are moving on from their head coach. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, Adam Schefter. Shefty, I know you were kind of waiting for us to finish while you were breaking that news. Did you expect that was coming this morning, or does this kind of come out of nowhere for you, Shefty?
No, I think that we kind of had a sense that this was possible. We knew this was coming. And, Pat, our timing's been impeccable over the last week, where basically you're getting me on as we got Sauce Gardner being traded, Rashid Shaheed being traded, Quinton Williams was coming down last week.
Let me remind you of all the things I've done here.
It is just Brian Daboll who's been dismissed. That is the only one. And
Interesting.
we're in the midst of the season here. This is pretty amazing when you look at it. The Giants' interim head coach, whoever that will be their 6th head coach since 2016.
Jeez. Okay, so that's 9 years ago, sixth head coach. Obviously, a lot of turnover. We saw the hard knocks behind the scenes in the offseason whenever, Mara comes in and Shane talks about moving on from Saquon to go in with Danny Dimes. We've seen Daboll run the meetings basically for all of their picks that they've done at the combine in the draft process. Daboll knew this was a make or break season. Is that why he potentially wanted Aaron Rodgers maybe as quarterback, Russell Wilson as a quarterback, Jameis Winston as a quarterback, like a veteran quarterback to be able to go on a run? And what does this mean for Jackson Dart and the development of the future here, Shefty, in your eyes?
Well, I think here's the deal. Jackson Dart has been evaluated for 4 concussions this year. 4. And so the biggest thing this team can do is make sure it's protecting its quarterback. We've got a quarterback that has been evaluated for 4 concussions. We've got a team that has blown double-digit leads in 4 different road games. They are the inverse of the Chicago Bears. They've been in position to win all these games and haven't gotten it done. And I think that at some point in time, you make the decision that we're not going to move forward with this guy. I think this is a team also that puts so much money and time and investments and picks into its defense. And the defense is one of the worst in the league right now. And so I think that they feel like they need a reboot here. And they made the decision to move on from Brian Daboll. We'll see who the interim head coach is. I'm trying to think of the candidates on staff. Mike Kafka is the offensive coordinator. He might be a candidate here to take over as the head coach, though they may want him to concentrate on the offense, in which case it would be the special teams coach. But Brian Daboll becomes the second head coach let go this year following Brian Callahan in Tennessee.
You talk about the defense and having all these players supposed to be good and being dreadful, then it makes you automatically go to Shane. So Shane, they're not moving on from Shane right now, you say, the general manager. Do we think
Not right now. I'm told that Brian Daboll is the only one. I think it's fair to assume that when you're firing the head coach, everybody is going to come under review. Everybody. What they do with that, we'll see. That'll be up to John Mara, Steve Tisch, and others. But obviously, they felt like this was a move that they had to make today.
Okay, we appreciate the insight, and thank you for joining us here immediately. We've talked about a few things in this top 5 headlines. Do you mind if we go to number 2 right now while you're on here?
What is number 2?
More visible picture at the MVP picture. It feels like there is now a 3-horse race for the MVP in Drake May, Matthew Stafford, and Jonathan Taylor. First, we'll go with Drake May. Unbelievable for his second year, second head coach, second offensive coordinator, 3 if you go back 3 years for him back to college. He is leading this Patriots team. I mean, it is fun to watch. Had him early. It feels like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles' defense had him early because I was reading Connor's tweets about it. It's like, whoa, tough day with Todd Bowles right now, tough day. Then he makes this throw with a guy about to hit him. Has to be a touch pass with like a quarter throw. And it's like, this dude is special. And it's not just us saying that, Schefter. Sportsbooks have him as the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. Wow. That is insane to think about at this stage. Matthew Stafford, we just talked about being immaculate. And then Jonathan Taylor, this dude, special. 250 yards or whatever it was in Germany yesterday. He's been doing it all season. There's a lot of stats and factoids about what he's been doing versus Adrian Peterson and Adrian Peterson's MVP season. Up to this point, obviously what the teams were, 8-2, 6-4. He has 17 touchdowns.
Jeez. Not even close.
I thought we had 7 touchdowns. 1,399 yards from scrimmage, 1,283 yards from scrimmage. So what Jonathan Taylor is doing is obviously historic and obviously better than an MVP season was for a running back in the past. Adrian Peterson, we all have massive respect for as a football player. He was untackleable, and Jonathan Taylor's the same damn thing. And when Jonathan Taylor gets any space, he's gone. He is winning games for the Indianapolis Colts, and you got everybody on that team. Zaire at the end of that 44 was saying, "You're the best player in the world," literally on camera. I got a text from Daniel Jones that said, "We got the best player on earth in Jonathan Taylor." He said life is good with him. Nobody expected this from the Colts, Adam Schefter, and I don't know if anybody expected this from Jonathan Taylor either. If you're a voter, which I don't know if you are or not, are you going to give it to a running back, Shefty, or is this just a quarterback award, you think, through and through?
Well, here's what I'm going to say to you, Pat. If we go back the last 12 years, 12, okay, the quarterback is won the most valuable player. By the way, Mike Kafka, officially the interim head coach for the New York Giants.
Okay.
Mike Kafka, the interim head coach for the New York Giants. He takes over for Brian Daboll, who was let go here this afternoon. I want to give you something here that's interesting. The quarterback position, a quarterback has won the NFL MVP each of the last 12 years. If we go back over the last 7, there are 50 voters for the MVP award. My friend Peter King pointed this out to me this morning. There are 50 voters for the MVP award. In the last 7 years, there have been 350 first-place votes for the MVP. Of those 350 votes, 349 over the last 7 years have been for quarterbacks. The only single vote in the last 7 years, not for a quarterback, was for Cooper Kupp in 2021. Other than that, a quarterback has gotten every first-place vote for the MVP award. So, that tells you that Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, they're in the lead. However, saying that, I am not a voter. I'm glad I'm not a voter, but I guess I'm not, I've never been asked to be a voter. I have not been a voter since I was younger. Those privileges were revoked. My Hall of Fame privileges were revoked when I was in NFL Network. They never gave them back to me. I guess I can make fun of it now. Nobody ever gave me back. And there are a lot more. There are a lot of people out there, Pat, that know the game way better than me. So they don't need my vote, and they don't need me to vote on the Hall of Fame either.
Of course.
There's a lot of people, a lot more than me.
Oh, jeez, the fire truck's outside. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, everything's all right,
We're
boys.
okay, boys.
Thanks
We're
for coming,
good.
boys.
Mitt let him know.
Daboll was just getting fired, dude. So the fire alarms went off here in Indianapolis. But I did not know you got your voting privileges revoked. I'm happy you keep that chip on your shoulder every single day when you wake up and try to change the course of the NFL with your breaking news. 349 of the 350 votes over the last 7 years have gone to a quarterback. Cooper Kupp, obviously everybody says he won the Triple Crown that year. It was actually the quad because he got the yards after catch, too.
Oh, yeah?
So it was like catches, touchdowns, yards, and then also yards after catch he had. So it was like all 4 he was across the board. And he got 1 MVP vote. Okay, he got 1. Jonathan Taylor's doing special things. Let's go to somebody who actually has an MVP vote, AP Tone. Running back, potentially in the running, especially with how good this Colts team is. The position we're in, best team in the AFC. And he is clearly the best player on the team. Everybody on the team agrees that.
Yeah, good news. Just got the email this week. I am back this year. I was.
Yeah, he gets to keep his, Shefty.
Right.
You bum. Shefty's a bum.
Jeff, you can send me your list. Maybe I'll take it into consideration or not. But yes, Jonathan Taylor and a running back should always be considered when you're having a historic season like this. It doesn't have to be just a quarterback award. It's not named a quarterback award. So yes, if Jonathan Taylor is the most valuable player, he should win the MVP award.
Drake May, odds-on favorite to win the MVP. No Patriots fan. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was saying before I got in a little bit of a riff. I don't know how you don't give the award today, November 10th, to Jonathan Taylor. The guy's had 4 hat-trick games. 4 games where he scored 3 touchdowns each. He, right now, is on pace to do things that very few running backs in the history of football ever have done. We're talking about a historic season. Now, again, there are a lot of games left, but look at the production. Look how it compares to an Adrian Peterson won MVP.
Good hosting.
John he's only scored 10 more touchdowns than him at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
10 more, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's what it's
again, Pat, if I did have a vote right now, I would vote for John, but I don't have a vote, so I can't.
Okay, yeah, we understand. You got it revoked. Once again,
not getting it back.
Tone said he will listen to any ideas, but obviously he has more sway than you. He still has a vote for good reason. But let's go to the odds-on favorite right now because of everything you just chatted about. I think everybody just assumes, including sports books, inevitably at the end of the day, push comes to shove, whenever it's time to vote, they'll say the person that's touching the ball every single play is the most valuable position. That is normally the argument. It's not the most best player. It's the most valuable player.
Yep.
Quarterback's always going to be the most valuable. That's why they're getting paid $60 million a year because they touch the ball every single play. Jonathan Taylor, I think Danny Dimes would be okay with him touching the ball every single play.
Yeah.
And I think our offense would, but we got weapons everywhere else as well, which is why the culture's so good. Let's talk about Drake May, though. Odds-on favorite, con man. Nobody expected that as a Patriots fan coming into the season, right? How could you expect the Patriots' second-year quarterback, who wasn't the first quarterback drafted, he's on a brand-new head coach, to be the MVP odds-on favorite through 10 weeks? Congrats to you guys, and congrats to Drake May, who seemingly has it all.
Yeah, incredible. First 10 games, just to kind of piggyback off that Jonathan Taylor thing for Drake May. He's the first quarterback in the history of the NFL to have 2,500 pass yards, 70-plus completion percentage, 250 rushing yards, and 5 or fewer interceptions.
Jeez.
Shout out Greg Harvey. When we're talking about value and just, valuable as being the word here, you can go to all those other players and then look at the cap space spent across the other offenses. I mean, it's not even close. Drake May would be most valuable. I think Matt Stafford's most deserving, though.
Okay, and the number one story of the weekend is the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Colts going to win the Super Bowl. Congrats to us. A huge win. We got about a hard out here in 1 minute. This came quickly. 42-minute first 15 here. Shefty, Eagles-Packers tonight. Literally 1 minute we have. What should we be thinking about?
I knew you were going to do that. I got you. Step out of the way, Pat. I got you.
Thank you.
I think we're going to get Nolan Smith back tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he'll be activated by 4 o'clock. Jair Alexander did not make the trip for the Philadelphia Eagles, not going to play against his former team. And this is all about the tush-push tonight. The Packers were the team that proposed banning it. We heard Micah Parsons last year with the Cowboys talk about the fact that it was a terrible play. Now the Eagles are going to get a chance to take their tush-push and shove it up the Packers' tush-push tonight in Green Bay on Monday Night Football.
You're the man. Way to tush-push your way right through that. You're the best, Adam Schefter.
Shefty.
Shefty looked good. Breaking news on the show.